Welcome to the Christ Codex, the prequel to Revelation Rapture. We will be unlocking in alphabetical order Christ, Jesus, Messiah, weaving and unraveling Bible verses that are embedded in his three names. Our objective is to reach and validate the East Star. I give all credit to God regarding the Christ Codex. Let us begin. First, we're going to apply the correct number to the corresponding letter in the first letter in each name. So C would be 3, J 10, and M would be 13. Next, let us add these three numbers together. The total is 26. We'll place it here. Now, starting with Christ, let's count and add the total number of letters in all of the names. Added together, we get a total of 18 letters. We get 8 from the letter H and 1 from A. 8 plus 1 is 9, with I representing the 9. Now, let's add the alphabet to the corresponding letter in all of the names. Let us look closely. We just added Jesus digit by digit. 1 plus 0, plus 5, plus 1, and so on, equals 29. And 6 represents base count 60, which was created mathematically by the ancient Sumerians around 3000 BC. Let's bring out Christ's date of conception by multiplying 29 and 6. 29 times 6 equals 174. 1. Adding Jesus letter by letter equals 74. Same method for Messiah. 1, 7, 4. 1, 7, 4. 1, 7, 4. 1, 7. We just added Christ, Jesus, Messiah, digit by digit, then letter by letter, simultaneously, by multiplying 29 and 6. Hebrew number translation, 2, 9, 6, brother of rising. And in Greek, a fork in the road. Section 1, settling in the East. Now the first move we must make is to remove both of the dots and the only two eyes in all of the names. We will need them in just a bit. Now let us go to book 41, the 41st book of the Bible, Mark. Let's look at the first verse of chapter 7. Then came together unto him the Pharisees, and certain of the scribes, which came from Jerusalem. 4177 Greek is townsman, from Greek 4172. Town, city, with walls greater or less in size. Now, let's bring back the dots from both of the letter I's and place them here. Mark 7, 7, book 41. There's a hidden message in this verse. Prophet. 5029 Hebrew translation. But there's still something about this verse that makes it unusual. It's the words teaching doctrines. Teaching doctrines equals 174, with the straight alphabet added. And furthermore, the letter T from teaching is the 29th letter, read from right to left, and the 40th letter read left to right. And D from doctrines is the same count but in reverse. The numbers 29 and 40 could be a clue in our search for the East Star. Now, let's go to book 40, which is Matthew, chapter 2, verse 9. The wise men from the east, when they had heard the king, they departed. And lo, the star, which they saw in the east. Let us continue on our quest for the East Star. Now, it said that Christ Jesus turned water into wine. Added together these words in Greek translation is wine, from 3943. And in Hebrew it's to bend, to clasp. Section 2. Adding and multiplying water into wine. Let us go to the Gospel of John, chapter 2, verse 9. When the ruler of the feast had tasted the water that was made wine, and knew not whence it was, but the servants which drew the water knew, the governor of the feast called the bridegroom. Now, one method Jesus may have used was to multiply the water into wine. 41:29 Greek translates to multiply, increase. Let's do just that. Let's multiply these numbers together. 41 times 29. We get the total number of chapters in the King James Bible. Now let's reverse the number 41:29. 29:41 in Hebrew is properly a taste, a judicial sentence. From 29:39 and 40. Taste, make to feed. The woman of Sumerian. There cometh a woman of Samaria to draw water. Jesus saith unto her, Give me to drink. Now, let's add the numbers from Christ together. 41 plus 77 is 118. That's the middle chapter of the King James Bible, Psalm 118. The book of Psalms is the 19th book of the Bible. 4 plus 1 plus 7 and 7 equals 19. Now, let us go to book 41, chapter 1 verse 18. And straightway they forsook their nets and followed him. This verse translates to 4174 in Greek and Hebrew. Date conceived on April 17/4, the first and last. More on April 17 further in the video. Nightfall is almost over, so let us continue and carry on. 4717 Greek Hebrew, to impale on a cross, crucify. Hammer, as piercing. (2947 Hebrew), the spread of the hand, palm breadth. (2911) From 2910, overhang that is a precipice, steep place. Hang. Beat, smite, from 1194. Spearman, 1187, from 1188. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out blood and water. A ruin, dripping, a dewdrop, from 7447. 4798, a cry, that is of grief, a lamentation, mourning. 1779, to prepare a body for burial, bury. Section 4, primes and outlining east. Now, we need to outline east and separate the numbers. Let's first remove the numbers that make up middle and total chapters, 988. These numbers will be in the 988 portion, further along. Now we have the original Codex. If you notice, all the numbers on the left side are prime numbers. A prime number is a number only divisible by 1 and itself. If we add up all the primes together, we get 139, and that is a very complex prime number. Now, all the numbers on the right are non-primes, numbers that are divisible by more than 2 numbers. These numbers added together equals 225. This number is a perfect square. Now, With that being said, let's verify 139 and 225, so we can draw the letter E for East. Using the straight alphabet, A through Z, let's verify these words. In the beginning we multiplied 29 and 6 to produce the Codex. Let's verify this. 29 times 6 equals 225 when added. Let us verify the non-primes to make the branches from the letter E. Underline non-primes equals 225 when added. Lastly, let us separate the primes and non-primes by drawing a divide line. Draw divide line equals 139. Now, let us underline the non-primes. Next, let's separate the primes by drawing a divide line. Now we have our E, that represents the East Star. Final section, the East Star. Now let us go to chapter 47 plus 74 equals 121. 11 times 11 is also 121, which is a perfect square, resulting in an 8-pointed star. 121 Greek, not guilty, innocent. Hebrew, Adam, the name of the first man. Date conceived on, equals 139. April 17/4, equals 225. Added together we get 364. That's how many days were in the Enoch calendar. The first book of the four Gospels, Matthew 1:21. And the very first verse of that book. Matthew 1:21 translates to 46:72. The son of David, Solomon. It's time. Conceived April 17/4. With a total number of letters at 121. But let's write his dates in Roman numerals and verify this. Sumerian translates to 11880. That's middle chapter, Psalm 118 verse 8. If we add up all his dates, we get 139 prime. And if we add digit by digit, we get 67. Let us compare this to the Christ Codex. All of the numbers added digit by digit equal out to 67, and matching with 139 prime. 139 times 67 equals. The square root of 17.4 is 4.17. April 17. This only occurs in this instance. 4 points, and with 9 digits out. Let's add the remaining numbers in white, digit by digit. We get 18. Let's move 0, which is the placeholder, in between the 1 and the 8. Uniquely, April 17/4 is the 108th day of that year. Date conceived on April 17/4. Let's remove his dates. Adding the remaining numbers, we get a total of 1534. This number looks very familiar. Warning 988. We get middle and total chapters from 988. Eight is H, life and death, and the ones represent the gates. 9 is I, him, Christ Jesus.